Hi guys, hi everyone. Perfect. So first yes. Hi guys. So my name is Ritika and I'll be taking your DSA sessions on the weekends. Your course PI got in touch with me and we had a brief discussion that you for November 3rd batch, the HTML JS part is already in progress. So now what is planned for you guys is that on weekends you'll be having the DSA classes. And I think today also you had some other session from 5 to 7, and now you have a session for beginning of DSA. Is that correct, guys? My context is correct for about the information about this batch. Perfect. So I'll give a quick introduction about myself. I am Ritika. I am basically just senior Java backend developer. I've worked in multiple product-based companies, currently also working in one of them. And if you want to connect with me, I think LinkedIn, or you want to check out what my previous experience is, you can go and check out my profile on LinkedIn. My email address is ritika590@gmail.com. Sometimes in between, I think there might be some network issue. Then you guys must tell me in the chat, just in case you're not getting audio or anything, any setup differences there, please feel free to type in the chat. Now guys, today's session is basically an introduction or a ramp up session wherein we'll be setting the context for the data structures and algorithm course to be starting for your batch. Now guys, I'm aware that what you have started with is JavaScript, right? So can anybody tell me like what was the last topic that was covered in JavaScript, just to analyze like how much you know some other programming language? What is the last topic that you had the session on, guys? Prototypes. Okay. So okay, very good, guys, very good. Okay. Now guys, in today's session, or rather just to set like how the structure of the session is going to be for DSA. First, in every session we'll be having the whatever is the agenda is there, that I'll be clearly pointing out to you guys. And then first 15-20 minutes we'll have a revision of the concepts we have seen so far, because especially that would be important for your batch, because we'll be having sessions on Saturdays and Sundays only. So effectively there are no sessions from Monday to Friday for DSA. Now guys, what this will entail is, when we have a session on Saturday and Sunday, I expect every one of you, to just, try and solve the problems, whatever are given to you. Now, guys, whenever the problems are given to you, it does not mean that you have to solve and submit all the test cases. I just want everyone to be very familiar with the questions. Just give it a try. If you're able to solve, it's okay. It is not. If you're not able to solve, in-class assignments, we'll be solving it together. Uh, and any students in this batch who have already taken DSA classes with me from November 1 batch or somebody? No. Okay, so already November 3 batch will be there. Okay, perfect, guys. Thank you. Now, guys, another thing, throughout the session, I'll be very proactive in checking the chat messages. So how, first, since any new instructor comes in, there will be a, warming up time when you will understand how I am teaching and how, okay, somebody is asking, let me see, sorry to interrupt. Okay, no worries. I'm typing in my email address. You can search like this. And guys, this is not my personal email address. I do by that. What I mean is I don't check the inbox for this. This is just my LinkedIn email address, which I have registered to. So if you send in a mail and you don't get a response to it, that is because I don't check the inbox of this mail. Okay. Now, guys, what I was saying is, for example, when we are having the sessions of DSA, I'll be very proactive in checking the chat messages. You can type in the chat doubts as and when you are getting the doubt, please type in the chat. I'll try to answer then and there. Secondly, after every concept is covered, I'll be unmuting students, and that would be the time, to ask whatever small doubts you might be having. You are not able to figure it out, like how it is working, how that is working. So this is that also will happen, but you will have to, have some patience then. But other than that, guys, I want everyone to be very comfortable in asking doubts. Do not hesitate. Even if I am not able to answer then and there. That is, I miss your doubt in the chat. You can retype it. Just don't spam the inbox. Okay, then I think this is enough for context setting. I'm sure that you are already tired because of the previous session. So we will not waste your time with more. Let me quickly share the today's agenda. Like what are we going to cover today? And what should be your key takeaways from this session? So today's agenda. First, we will have a JDK, it's a Java intro, wherein we will study what is JDK, what is JVM, what is JRE, and the difference between these three. Then how do you know what does the compilation process, and how to get started with it. Let's say getting started code. What if you can say examples, few examples we'll be covering. Then we'll be starting with basic variables, operators, and data types. So since this is the first session, mostly top time will go in wherein I'll be telling you the like how do you write a simple Java program, what is the meaning of everything that we have written. So we'll go over that one by one. Now guys, another thing, as students you might be thinking, like why are we choosing Java as a language for DSA course, right? We could have chosen C++, Python. That's a very relevant question. In fact, when you go for any interviews, you can use any language to code the solution that you're comfortable in. Nobody restricts you as such, unless and until the company which you are giving the interviewing with, they are not requiring some specific language developer. Now, Java is widely used, and it will be a very good skill when we are, writing any programs. For example, what happens when you try to give interviews in the industry, most of the companies will be using Java. So obviously, it becomes a good portfolio, a good bucket of language to be on your resume. So this is one of the reasons that we start with Java. Okay, Dheeraj Lavania is telling, ma'am, we some Hindi medium sales, so please try to 50-50 ratio with Hindi English. Okay, I understand, Dheeraj. Tell me, guys, how many people do not understand Hindi at all? Like, I understand some people may be from South India, so they may not be, that frequent with Hindi itself. So we have a group of people who do not understand Hindi, and some group of people who are not that comfortable with English. So we have a mix of them. So what I will do is, beta, I will do one thing. I'll explain in very, very simple terms, and we'll go very, very slowly. And after all, we are just going to learn algorithms, right? So English won't be that tough. I don't tend to use very fancy or technical jargons in the session. So you should be rest assured that mostly the whole session will be understandable by all the students. That will be my aim. And so let's see. And if you're somebody wants to, is not getting the head and tail of the topic only, then obviously I'll unmute and give, we can converse and we can ask. So you should not worry about it. I'll try to handle it as far as possible from my end, maintaining the language difference for all the students. Okay, Shanu, Karan, very good question, guys. And Sonu Singh, beta, this course, right? This course, where the topic you are asking about is Spring, and that this problem is coming. But that comes in backend development. Before that, we are going to study problems like this course is DSA, data structures and algorithm. In this course, the actual key takeaway is to improve your problem solving skills in general. And we are using Java to answer all the questions. This is a setup. Tarun Jindal, yes, beta, we'll be taking Java. We'll be doing Java along with the data structure study. So this is how the scope is. And obviously we'll be going through all the basics of Java, and we'll be covering the OOPS session also and some advanced OOPS also. But that does not mean that entire Java you will be able to learn through this DSA course. Let me be very clear, I should not make any false promises. Some concepts will be there which you will have to explore on yourself. And to be honest, any Java developer who is having at least 3-4 years of experience also does not know how to use all the features of Java. But this course is to give you a good head start to learn everything and improve your problem solving skills. This is the agenda here. And this should be your expectation. If it is otherwise, feel free to type in the chat. Maybe if I have an answer, I'll try to answer. Where are you? Okay, I'm from South India, currently traveling. Yeah, it is mandatory in Java. Here it is not cold. So this here it's perfect summer 26 degrees. So I know in many parts of India it's very cold. Yes. So I know people who are from North India will be feeling sleepy also, this time of the month, like everyone is like, especially at night. But guys, I want you to focus here that since you guys are on a weekend you are giving 2 hours of your time, right? I want it to be maximum useful for you. So today's key takeaway, I will tell you, you should every time you are devoting any time to any lecture, have a clear takeaway. Like at the end of this 2 hours, what you will be able to take away. The simple thing is you should be able to run a simple Java program and execute it and also know the meaning of everything used in the program. This is the key takeaway. Rahul, okay. Beta, you don't worry about the chat. I've been, okay, let me give you a little bit more introduction about myself. So I have taken 6 batches of DSA till now. A little bit of experience is there in teaching. So I think I'm quite comfortable with handling chat messages. And yeah, also I think I missed one very important thing. Guys, in today's session, I'll be asking you a lot of feedbacks according to you. For example, whether the pace of the session will be okay or is okay or not, whether you want the topics to go at a slightly faster pace or you want to the beginning level information. Because I know like so many students will be there at the very, from non-IT backgrounds or just getting started with Java. So please feel free to type in the chat that also. And also, if you want me to change the structure of the session, that is, if you want me to teach in a separate way, that is, ma'am, first you do the hands-on, then take the example, or you take the example first, then do the hands-on, please feel free to type in the chat because that will give me information to structure your sessions. Now, first question for all of you guys. How many of you are will be studying Java for the first time today? Okay. So we have a, good demographic of the class. Very good. Okay. Okay. Everyone can lower their hands. Fine. I got it. So let's start from the very basic. Now, guys, how many of you know or how many of you have heard about Java? You must have heard about Java, then you must have heard about OOPS. For people who have raised the hand, beta, can you type in the chat? Okay. Now, guys, what does Java stand for? Java stands, or how did Java come into picture? Now, guys, every one of us would have used some programming language even before we came to know Java. Let's say you must have taken that microprocessor course, or people who are from non-IT backgrounds must have used the calculator at some time, right? All of us have used calculator in our school time. Now, what happens in the calculator? The basic ARM processor is there, the 8088 version, wherein you can store 4-bit numbers and you can get the answers to a specified bit range only. And guys, one request. People who are raising the hand, beta, first type in the chat. I'll not be unmuting anybody as such unless and until their doubt is there and I am not able to understand. This is my way of maintaining a decorum in the session. And also the annotations are disabled, so don't waste time in annotating the screens because I've seen in other sessions many notorious people are there, but okay. So first type in the chat if I'm not answering, or if I'm not able to answer understand your doubt, I'll definitely unmute you. These are few things which every instructor you must be feeling that this is just my way. If you feel that some other ways, then type in the chat. Okay. The COP-based calculator, I feel it is not 808, but my knowledge. Yeah, Amit, you are right, beta. This is COP-based calculators are, it is not 808, you are right. How many of you have used lifts, right? There also microprocessor is there, right? Everyone must have used lifts wherein you press the button, it lands on the specific thing. Now, okay, there is one doubt before the session. I'll address few doubts which I'm getting. Here, why do we use DSA? But we are not going to use DSA. DSA stands for data structures and algorithms. Now, why this is a key topic for you guys and why there is a separate, parallel track only given to you for DSA. See, languages are just tools to solve problem. Now, if you see anything right now which is working as an app in your mobile or any, let's say you are using Google Maps or you are using YouTube or anything, what is that? That is serving you some purpose. Now, to reach an efficient solution for that, you should know what is the best way of doing that. For example, in YouTube, what happens? Recommendations come to your feed, right? For example, based on your last watch history, they will recommend some certain videos to you. How does that happen? Or how does the Google map work? So now guys, there is basically an algorithm that is running. Algorithm is nothing but a set of instructions which are running, a simple program which is running. Now, the more efficient you are able to write the function, the better your application will be. Now, these things, first of all, you should understand the meaning of data structures for them. And then you should be knowing certain base algorithms. The most technical, you can say getting started with algorithms. For example, you have a very simple thing where, like for prime numbers detection, we have sieve over isosceles. You will not be going about if you have a problem. You will not be, thinking of a solution from the scratch. You will be already knowing how to solve certain problems. Then you will see how to apply that solutions to your problem. So every time you will not be reinventing the wheel, what we say commonly, like every time if you want to make something move, you will not be thinking about how to invent a wheel itself. It is already there. You have to just apply it. So this is where data structures and algorithms become a key skill for any developer, whether it is front end or back end. Even if you are learning front end, you may be asked to solve, for example, if you interview for Google, Amazon as a front end developer, even though you will be expecting the JS questions will be there, they come only at the second or third interview stage. First two interviews will be problem solving only, the actual DSA problems. So this becomes a very important track for everyone who's trying to become any kind of developer and obviously aspiring to have a good placement. So this is the reason. Okay, I hope I have answered some doubts why we are studying DSA, what is the relevance of it. This is the relevance, but in very simple words, if you want a good job, if you want to become a better developer, DSA is a thing which you should be good at. If not great, at least good at. Now, here guys, coming back to now what I was explaining is Java and OOPS are two terms which everyone in the class must have heard about it. Now, Java is a high-level programming language which uses object-oriented programming paradigm, wherein that everything will be based on objects. And I'm sure that everyone is very comfortable with JS. So they'll be already knowing that how a language is working. There will be a set of things which you can use, which are called reserved keywords. They will do certain operation. Only thing is you should know how to use it, how are variables declared, what are the operators that are allowed, and how does the set of instructions together work in any language? How do you compile it? How do you execute it? These things are very relevant, right? So for Java also, I'll try to explain them step by step, and then we will obviously do a hands-on right now, and we'll solve some in-class assignments for you guys. Okay, let's start. Now guys, in Java, what happens? You must have seen that everything is declared in a class. How many of you have seen a Java code till now, or have till now? Nobody has. No. Some look is there. Okay. So let me first show you a Java piece of code. Let me write down one small piece of code for you guys. Let me see. Let me log into your account. This is November 3, right? Yes. Okay. Let me see if that dashboard access is mapped to my account or not. Once again, let me share my entire screen with you. Once again. Apparently, this is taking a lot of time to load. Not sure why. Okay, meanwhile, this is loading. Let me type in a code for you. So guys, if I give you an example of most basic Java program. Let's say I have something like this, public static void main. Yes, hello world we can do, or Vidyasagar beta M is not capital for the function name. I will tell you the difference. See, this is called the class and this is the class name. And inside that, here we do have the most important function, that is the main function. So this is a function name, so we have written it a small name. Here, whatever class name you have given, you can name it anything. You can name this class anything, X, Y, Z. Only thing is it should start with a capital letter and should not contain a digit. That's the only thing. Now, guys, what is the relevance of this keyword class? And why do we have to create a class to write a function? See, in Java, what happens? Everything, if you see, everything will be executed with the help of the bytecode, right? So let us go through what happens. Let's say if this code you write in a .java file. After all, that is what you are going to do. Let's say you have installed Java in your system and you are thinking of running your first program. Then what will happen? You will create a program file. And for that program, you will have to store in a file with .java extension. And guys, another thing which you will have to keep in mind when you're writing Java program, that file name should be same as the name of your class. So what should be the file name in which you store this code? Main.java. Why? Because the class name is this. Now comes the important part. How will you compile this code? For compilation, guys, you can use this command javac main.java. Like whatever is the file path, here I'm writing like this. That is if you're inside the folder itself. From the command prompt or terminal, whatever operating system you're using, just go to the command prompt or terminal of that and execute this line. Now what will happen? This entire code what you have written will be compiled. By compilation, what do I mean? That is the compiler. There will be a program again which will be running. When you install Java, that program would have been copied into your system. And that will check. That program's work is to check your system, check your code for whether everything is correct or not, and whether everything is acceptable by Java language or not. There are no compilation errors. There are no syntax errors in that. Every keyword is used as expected or as allowed. Once that is done, then what happens? Your bytecode will be generated. Now, this bytecode is something of very important thing. This makes the Java platform independent. What do I mean by platform independent is, once you have compiled your Java bytecode, now irrespective of where this compilation happened, whether it happened on a Mac operating system or a Windows operating system or a Ubuntu or any Linux based operating system, this bytecode what you have generated can execute anywhere. So what does it mean? That is, we are writing once and executing anywhere. So this is what makes the Java platform independent. So these are, what we are doing right now. I'm just explaining few terms which you should know before getting started with Java itself. Like then only you will understand, right? Why we are learning Java, why are we putting in so much of effort into this? So these are few things about Java which are very useful and makes it a very powerful and robust programming language in itself. So I'm sure guys, everyone knows, right? that whenever you write a program in any programming language, it goes through a cycle. First of all, it will be compiled, then you can execute it, right? This cycle is known to everyone. That context was set when you were learning JavaScript. Yes or no, guys? Yes, perfect, perfect. So now, guys, in Java also what happened? Let's say you have written some code here, and let's say the file name you store as main.java. Now, first step, what you do is you compile it and you run it javac main.java, and this will actually generate a file called main.class. Now the extension will get changed, not changed actually, this will be a new file which will be created once you run this program in the same folder. Now, when you run this, run the file, then what will happen? This code will be executed. Now executed means what? Means it will try to go to each line and try to execute, fulfill the instructions. This is what is going to happen. Now for doing that, there are certain things which Java has enforced. For example, if we had written this class called main, inside that it will try to find out the main function. The class name can be anything, but in every class there will be a main function. First, it will execute this function. And that is why this function holds very special importance in every class that you will create. This is sometimes called as entry point also for every execution or every running of the class. This is the concept behind. Now let me see if that problem is sorted. Second, let me see if login is happening. Difference between compile and interpret. Very good. See, beta, what happens? Certain language will be compiled first. What do I mean by that? That there is a compiler which is written for them, and they'll be able to generate the compiled code or compiled version, or sometimes you can say in JavaScript bytecode. Bytecode is nothing but another simple sequence which your computer or your operating system will be able to understand at the time of execution. In interpretation, what happens? There is an interpreter which is required. Interpreter is slightly different for compilation. In interpretation, what happens? Every logical step is interpreted into some other small step. But in compilation, only the checking happens whether the code is acceptable or not. Let me share my screen again with you. Okay. Let me see if your batch is there or not. What is the name of your batch? Any special name is given to you? I don't think. Jupiter? No. Okay, no worries. I'll take from November 1 batch. No worries, guys. I'll get the access in, I think, by tomorrow. Let me start by the one assignment used to be there once again. Yeah, first we will solve this. Before that, let us execute our batch name is 3. That access is not given for batch 3 right now. It will be added to my account very soon. I have November batch 1 that I have taught. Before them, DSA is over. Okay. Can everyone see my screen right now? Is the Zoom level okay for guys? You guys? Yes? Okay. Now, guys, what we are trying to do is we are trying to write a simple Java program and then execute it once. Now, see, guys. Here, first I will write just a simple program. What we have written. Here we have written a class. Inside that we have a main function. And then we are going to run. Let's write this and let us run the program. Yes, Ajay beta, we'll be covering everything here. Just I want to show you how does a Java program run. Then we will go over each thing, what is the meaning of each thing. Now, can you see, guys, that this simple program is able to print hello world, right? Now, let us go into a more deeper analysis of every step here. One second. Okay. Now, let's see what has happened here. See, guys, when you run this code, what happens? Pavan beta, VS Code I use for front end. Here we'll be using the Newton playground only. And the reason behind that also I will tell you. Guys, most of the companies will be giving you an online coding platform for your first or second round, which will be very similar to Newton playground. I'm sure some of you must have used Hacker Earth or Hacker Rank or Lead Code for coding. How many have practiced upon that, right? Now what happens? That will be like an online coding platform wherein you will be supposed to write the code in certain area, input somewhere, then output will be run against tests. And most of your all the assignments you'll have to submit on the Newton playground only. So the reason why we are doing this, the reason is for you guys to feel very comfortable with the online platforms wherein you have to do the live coding, or in this case, you will have to submit the responses. It will run against test cases. That is the whole idea. When you are doing a front end course, obviously you will have to write the code, see it on the browser, then playground doesn't come into picture. Yes, repeat online platform. Online platform means, but a link will be given to you where you will you will get same kind of environment will be there. One question will be written. You will have to write. You download, nothing is there, beta. Nothing will be there here to download. You will have to read the question on the screen, and one area you will have to write the code. So by doing this kind of practice, I hope everyone will get very familiar with this kind of environment, and it will be very helpful for all your problem solving rounds in the interviews. This is the agenda. Okay. So see guys, here, this is, let's say this program is there. When you are running on Newton playground, beta, here you see what is the class name? Main. So don't change the name of the class if you are solving on the playground. Reason also I will tell you. Reason is that whatever code you write, right, in Newton server, this code will go to main.java file. Where it will go? It will go to main.java file. There they will copy whatever code you have written, and on that file they'll be running this program command javac main.java. In case what happens, sometimes people who are just beginning right now, they will they will make the class with any other name. Now what happens? They will again copy that to main.java file and run it. When they try to run it, Java will give you a compilation error because Java expects the code to be in the file with the same name as the class name. So this is a very common mistake. What happens when people are just starting to run small programs in their playground area. So this is one thing which I want to tell you. Now let us get back to step by step. What is the meaning of everything? So let's say you have run this program. Now what happens? Here we see few things here. One of the things is this part, this import part. Then we see something like two curly braces are there. Inside that also one curly braces is there. Now guys, I will tell you the meaning of this. This is called import statements. Keyword is also import only. This will import the libraries into your Java and Java program. What is the relevance of each thing? What are the details? We'll go into that one by one. Now this is class is a reserved keyword. It's a keyword recognized by Java compiler. And this is the name of the class. You can name it anything. Only thing it should name it start with capital letter. And this is the function. How to identify function in JS also you must have seen wherever you have this parenthesis marks. Here also you will get the same kind of structure. Only thing is here that arrow functions are not allowed. Like in Java, you will see that so many arrow functions will be there. Here it is not there. Here the simple declaration is there. Once you write the function name and you write this curly braces and you start your curly braces here, parenthesis here. Now few things you might be seeing for the first time. What is this public? What is this static? What is this void? And what is this main? Now guys, public is your access modifier. I'm just telling you the fancy terms associated with each of this thing. For everything which we are writing on the board, we have a design lecture or a session to go in depth. Before that, we will go in a little bit intro ramp up kind of thing we will do. But just since we are doing, I want to tell everything, whatever we have written here. Static, again, is a keyword. What is the meaning of this keyword? That we will tell when we learn how that object creation happens. Now, void is a return type. And this is the function name. Okay. Now, guys, if so, everyone is clear what, like, at least they know the term associated with everything used in the program. Bhavdi, very good, beta. I'll remove you from the class if somebody is annotating, and trust me, I'll remove you from the batch. That I'm telling you in the first session itself, I do not tolerate this annotation, because every time what will happen, I'll go to the playground, I'll come back to the screen, and every time I will not be disabling. So clear, you know, this is some ground rules. I am sure every instructor must be having this. If I find somebody, I get that annotation person's name, I'll just remove that person from the class. Very simple. Okay. And because so many 100 people are waiting, don't waste everyone's time. See, beta. Okay. What is public? Yes, beta. I'll tell you. Now, guys, let us go by one. Here, somebody is asking, what is the use of import? Very good. Now, guys, import here. What happens when you install Java? When you install Java, it's okay, Bhavdi. When you install Java, beta, lot of files will be copied to your system. You must have seen it. How many of you have installed any programming language or any, let's say, any computer game in your system? Any software, right? So guys, what happens when you install any software in your system? First of all, you will be downloading the version which is okay for your operating system. Let me show you on net how you can get started by with the installation of this Java itself. Let me show you, and maybe I can show you how to set up Java in your local system also. In this system, what I'm using right now, Java is already installed, so maybe I'll have to uninstall that. But okay. I'll run this on Newton Playground only, Jeremiah. Oh, you want to learn how to on your system? That also, but I'll show you. Right now, I'll show you. See, beta, what happens? Java, then few contexts, guys. Java was developed by Sun Microsystems, and then it was acquired by Oracle. So initially, it was not an open source programming language. That is, nobody can use Java free of cost like we are able to do right now. Now, what happens? What happened? Then that time, a few set of developers were, trying to solve problems in their own. Now they came up with a structured way of doing it, and they found that so many features they can provide as a out of the box thing. For example, if you have to take input from the user, right? Let's say I'm typing in some input, that should automatically go to it. So what happened? They wrote a program for it. Now that program they wrote in a class structure, and then ultimately this whole setup for providing functions became the language Java. Now where the code was written for doing these small things, these became classes, and these classes were grouped in together in libraries. So you can consider that Java has a library for everything. Just like Python, if people have used, what happens? They will be using so many libraries. In Java, we have to explicitly mention them on your program that which libraries you want to use. So for that only that import statement is there. Now guys, see, you can download Java here for anybody who is very beginner to Java. Better come here, agree to this, start and agree and start free download of this. Automatically it will download an exe. This will work fine for your Windows system because it will be an exe. For people who are using Linux, right? They can go back to this Java search. They can come here. Somewhere that link is there for different programming language. Let's say if I click on this in releases, I have bookmarked those links for you. I'll grab it for you in tomorrow Sunday session. I'll show you the installation process also, and I will uninstall in my system. So I'll keep my system ready. Today, please explain the code in ID rather than whiteboard and run. Yes, Chinmay, beta, I'll again reiterate for everyone, beta, we will be doing maximum practice on Newton board. The reason, again, in the interviews, you'll be getting such a platform. You will not be getting an access to IDE. And in fact, for companies like Google, or I'm not even talking about Google, Amazon, Facebook, even the other companies which are, most of the companies will not allow you to use an ID. In fact, the screen change will not be allowed, right? Yes, you can write on Notepad also. What will happen? You just store it with a .java extension. So you guys got it, right? Why are we emphasizing on Newton Playground? Is that why we are an ID explanation, beta, I'll do here. Chinmay, you don't worry, beta. That ID difference will not be there. That I will not let that happen. And yes, one more thing, guys. When you type in ID, that autocomplete feature is there, right? You will forget a lot of things, lot of commands here. And if you go, I'm talking about my experience with Google interview, there you will be getting a whiteboard. There that nothing, no autocomplete is there. You will not be getting any ID support. So it is good to develop the skill from the beginning. If you start practicing like this from now, you will have an extra edge over the other candidates. At the end, just before when you got the call for Google and you are just preparing for your first round, that time you will not be figuring out, okay, now I have to stop using the ID, now I have to start it. That feeling will not be there. Obviously, for your professional work, you'll be using an ID, Eclipse, IntelliJ, whatever you want to use. If you want to understand how to use Eclipse, IntelliJ, that I can show you. That whole setup and everything I can show you. Write code on Notepad. If it will be good, learn Java at least. Yeah, better we are writing in this playground also. Here also no autocomplete feature is there. Okay, now guys, coming back to it. So guys, let's say if you are writing a program, obviously you should know how to declare variables here. So guys, whenever you are declaring any variable in Java as a programming language, you will be getting few data types. Now, acha, 1 second, guys. I think somebody's doubt was there. Why to use import? You got it right. See, guys, one more thing I want to focus here. Here, can you see, guys, java.io.star? Something like this is written. That import java.io star. Now, why is that? What is the relevance of this string, java.io? Whenever you have declared, you have installed Java, inside this folder, Java folder will be created. Inside this folder, one IO folder will be there. And inside that, whatever files are there, all those files will be actually classes, because we have just understood that in every Java file, there will be actually a class or some code written into it. So that will be imported into your program. So what that will do, that code will help you take in the input output. They have mentioned in the comments also. Apart from input output also, there will be a lot of functions which you can use. For example, there will be certain times you will have to take only integer number or scan or string type of content. All those things will be used from the scanner class in this IO package. I'll give you an example and show you how to take input output. Then we'll go into more detail about this java.io package only. And then again, there is this util package. Now here, they have mentioned in the comments that it contains the collection framework. Collection framework means what? In Java, you'll be using array list. Similar, I think in JS also you have list and everything. Here, to use an array list or a list here, you will have to use their implementation code, and that all implementation code is in the package java.util star. Okay. So this is the meaning of import. So that is like basically it will go to that actual location, bring in all that code to your program so that whenever your code is compiled, for their code also is used in your system, in your program, and does not give an error. If we remove that, you will get an error that we can show. I'll show you right now. Let me go to the screen. See, let's say if I remove this and I run, and I will remove this also. Not sure. Okay, it is not using. Let me use something else. Let's say I use scanner. What is scanner? I will tell you in 2 minutes. Let me just show you once. Yes, it is used to take input. You're right. We'll cover this exercise in today's. Because this program is not taking any input right now. So can you see, guys, one compilation error is there. Here it is telling that scanner class itself cannot find. The reason was it was getting imported from the packages which we had written earlier. So let me write down that here. Import space java.util star. See, guys, now the error went away. The reason is simple, that the scanner class code was inside this java.util star package. Package is nothing but beta similar to folder structure what you see in your system, right? That in Java terminology we call as package. Nothing different. Actually, it is the one and the same thing. Okay. Now, few more things which I want to cover similar to modules in JavaScript. Yes, Javid, very good correlation. Yeah, you can say that. Now, guys, a few more things which I want to cover before getting to the next topic. What are the types of data types available in Java? In Java, we have int, we have long, we have float, we have double, we have something called character also, and we have something called string, we have boolean, then few more are there. Now guys, what is the relevance of this? These are used for storing number type variables. Yes, short is there. Yes, I missed short. Now char, this is for, characters. This is for combination of characters. Now, each of them we'll be going over in detail. I'll be showing you like how to use it, what is the relevance of their memory space allocated, and everything step by step. So now, guys, just before, I want to ask whether the speed is okay, or can I move a little bit faster, or this pace of the session is okay for everyone? Is okay, right? And for people who were, the language is understandable, clear to you guys? Language is clear? Okay. So that is a good. And okay. Apart from that, guys, what time do you have a break? What time, like what is the usual setup for your regular lectures? In DSAs, you don't have any break, or in your no breaks are there? Okay, in DSA, we'll have a break of 10 minutes. The reason is simple. I'll give you a quick exercise. I'll give you a quick exercise. Just think about it, how and what is the meaning of it. Here, let me write down on the screen here. I want everyone to execute on their playground. But at this in the code what I'm writing there, I want you to go to your playground area and execute it. So that whatever starting troubles are there for you guys to get started uh, in the setup of Java and using this Newton playground are solved in this first class itself. So everyone here, and this input, right? Also, don't forget to give one input also. Let's say 5. Just go to your playground area and compile this program. Run this program. Okay. This is what I want. Let us take a break of let's say 10 minutes. I want everyone to, just compile this and see like whether it is working out for you guys or not. Is it okay, guys? Yeah, okay. Please try it right now because I want to understand what problems everyone is having right access or not. This program, whatever I have written on the screen, same thing you do on your login. Okay, guys. Okay. So guys, whether it is completed, you were able to do solve the solution. Perfect. Anybody who got error? I think one comment I see for error. What was the error, beta? I hope you were able to solve it. You must have not given the input here in the custom input field, beta. Everyone who has forgotten to give the input, just give some input here. The semicolon is missing for one person. Krishna, beta, semicolon is missing after system.out.println. Every place, beta, here semicolon is there. Okay, what is the error? It's illegal. Now, guys, few things let us cover for the reason that errors you might be getting. So let me copy it. Yes, this is what I wanted everyone to, at least experience it once. So most of the errors why we are getting, I'll tell you right now. What you guys have missed, better. Some people have missed semicolons. Some people have not put their curly braces properly. These are the common things which I can see from the code shared with me on the chat. Caps and small, yes. So let us go over a few things here. See guys, when you are thinking of Java, here, Java is a case sensitive language. Okay, what do I mean by that? Here, you will have to maintain that, for example, if you see here, right? Especially for the reserved keywords. The reserved keyword is like what? Class, public, static, void. These names you can name anything. But here again, you will have to name it in main only because you are executing on a platform. Now here in Newton, especially main will be there. Let's say you're using some other platform. If they have given you some specific instruction, you should be intelligent enough to understand, okay, that I don't have to change the class name. Okay. Now here, scanner is a scanner. But Tarun will not be using ID here. Scanner is again a reserved keyword. It is a name of a class. Okay. Now here system dot somebody had put a small s here. Here, this semicolons after each step are important. This means end of one statement. Without this, Java will give you a compilation error. Now, by seeing all the errors, you must be seeing sometimes like compilation error. This is the most common error I have seen shared in the chat, right? Now, guys, what does it mean actually? When does this error occur? So, for example, if you have stored this in main.java file, and when you are writing this command to compile, so this, what will happen? This will bring in the compiler. One second, guys, let me check it. What is it? Somebody has pasted the command. Umesh, beta, you have not given the input, I think. What is the error? You give me that. What is it? Guys, whatever errors you are getting, that you can put in the chat window. I'll be able to tell what is the problem. Okay, now guys, what will happen? This compiler will be again a program. What it will do? It will check your code line by line, right? So it will go from top to bottom and it will check everything. What it will check? Some compilation rules are there. Okay, let me address few doubts here because I think that is more important for everyone. Okay, beta, for somebody who has pasted a doubt, right? Manjeet, beta, println में आपने one लिखा है, that is L, print LN, not 1N. Then somebody has done mean your find symbol in Java system dot out dot grades. बट ये कोड कहीं से कॉपी करके छापा है आपने यहाँ पे, ये नहीं चलेगा. जो मैंने कोड दिया था वो चलाओ. तुमने ग्रेड्स वाला कौन सा प्रोग्राम चला दिया है प्रियंका बेटा? वो मत चलाओ. See, beta, if you copy some code from somewhere and then you execute that, I think some random example you might have taken, because that will not work. Because in that so many things are missing. Whatever output you have seen, what is that grades? What is that function called? From where did you get it? Execute the function which I have written. Okay, just try that out. Okay, now guys. So I hope these are the common mistakes. Okay, now guys, here compilation rules will be there. Now the most common compilation rules which I can tell you here is, first thing is you should be very careful about the case, the capital small letter in the keywords, right? Now when you're writing this command, for example, class keyword you're using, use a small c. So how this you will come to know. After all, first time if you are using Java, you cannot be familiar with all the reserved keywords, right? So slowly as we progress in the class, that thing will come with you in practice. But whatever commands we have used today, at least that you should be remembering. Okay. Now guys, let's say you want to add some information. Let's say you want to take some data from data input from users. You want to add those details, like add those numbers and print the output. That is your task. But before that, we should know the data types, which can be used to store all your information, right? So in Java, the data types which you will be most commonly you will be coming to know about are byte, short, int, long, double. Then we also have float. Then we have char. Then we have string. Now guys, this byte, short are all characters wherein you are going to store information. A byte is typically, what you have. It will store all the numbers from -128 to 127. Now you'll be thinking how this is happening. So this is happening because you will be getting how many bits? 2 power 7 to 2 power 7 minus. This is how basically it gets. No, but actually it is, the thing about byte is it does not have 8 bits in many programming languages. Here, what you have to understand, the value will be 2 power 7 to 2 power 7 minus 1. This is the minimum value and maximum value. It will have total 8 bits. Out of them, only 7 bits will be used. One bit will be used for representing the symbol, the sign. Okay. Am I audible, guys? Somebody is telling no voice is there. Audible, right? Okay. Now, guys, another data type is short. Now, guys, what is the difference? Like, how are these data type defined? First of all, you will have to understand what type of data you can store in that type of variable if you are using this, and how much space is available to that, or what range of numbers you can store. I'm sure that since you guys have started with JavaScript, this concept might be slightly different from what you have seen. In JavaScript, we do not have any explicit data type. You can declare, you will have var, let, to or const to declare the variable, and you can store any type of data in that. Am I correct or wrong? Right, guys? But in Java, you have strict binding. That is, you have to use the correct data type to store the specific kind of data. By that, what I mean is these type of variables wherein you will be getting this, you will be able to store numbers. What numbers mean is 0 to 9 you will be able to store here. Which with the numbers which are formed by using 0 to 9 digits. Char and string, you can store anything. 0 to 9 also you can use. A to Z also you can use. Capital A to Z also you can use. And also the special characters also you can use here. So now if all these things are storing numbers, what is the difference between them? The difference in the capacity of each of them. Now let me quickly write down for you. Since this is the first class, let us go a little bit more deeper about data types and their storage capacity and what is the relevance of this storage capacity. So let me write down. And you guys will be able to you yourself will be able to tell me what is the maximum and minimum number you can store in each of these. Int takes beta 4 bytes, Vishal beta. In Java, it takes 4 bytes. Okay. Short takes 2 bytes. Now tell me guys, that means how many bits are there? 16 bits, right? Why? Because 1 byte is 8 bits. So now you can do here 2 raised to power 15 and 2 raised to power 15 minus 1. Int will be 4 bytes. Long will be what? 8 bytes. And guys, not everything will be able to hold on to the decimal point numbers. No. And float also will be 4 bytes again. This will be able to store decimal numbers. Also. Because you will say that int and float are same only. What is the difference between them? Long is 8 bytes. Oh, sorry. Let me rub it. 8 bytes. And double is another data type. It is also 8 bytes. And here also you can store decimal number. Boolean is 1 bit. It is like 0 or 1, like true or false, simple. This is number value, beta. Actual number value. This is actual number value. This has only 1 byte. That is 8 bits. Got it? Okay. Now, guys, character is something very interesting in Java, wherein you will be having 2 bytes. And it can store ASCII code or corresponding to every character. Now, what is ASCII code? We'll get into more details. But this I will leave for the topic with strings because I don't want to confuse you as of now. Yes, Vishal beta, very good. Very relevant doubt. See beta, we are telling 1 byte total storage space is given to this. Let's say whenever you tell Java compiler that I want to declare a byte variable, that you will be given 1 byte. But the bits that will be used to store the values will be 7 bits only. 1 bit will be reserved. So what is the maximum value you can have with this is 2 power 7? Yes or no? That is 7 bits are there, all are 1. Right? And the first 1 bit will be for parity. You are right. Somebody has typed in the chat also. Very good. Now 1 for positive, 0 negative. 1 bit actually in Java it is stored in 1's complement. So parity is also divided. It is not direct. Okay. Till now, guys, this topic you are getting right. What I mean to say, like, what is the relevance of each of the, like, if you declare this variable, this much byte will be given. This variable, then this much byte will be given. This is clear to everyone? Right. Okay. Now, if this is clear, now what I will do? String. Very good. Now, guys, string. String is basically a type of object. Since we have not touched upon objects, so string I'll be taking maybe in a second or third class, not right now, but you can assume that it will be like a set of characters. For that, you have to have the understanding of objects, how to create objects. So we can hold on to that topic right now. And we have, in fact, string as such, you'll be understanding a lot of things are there, inbuilt functions are there, but for that, the basic understanding of object should be there. Okay. Now, guys, these are the data types. Now, every time you have to use this data type, right? You can type this word itself before the variable name. These are all reserved keywords by Java. So they are all understandable by the Java compiler. So now coming back to our task, what we decided, we will take the input of few numbers and add them and show the output. This is the task. Now, first of all, we will think like what kind of numbers can be there in the input. Let us say only integer numbers can be there. So we will use int data type, right? Int data type can be a good candidate for that. How to declare the variable? How to declare the variable? If you are having int as a data type, you can write like this. Int a equals to 10. What is it? This is declaration and initialization. Now this part can also be divided into two parts. In Java, that is allowed. You can first write as an int a, and then in the next step you can write as a 10. So, or you can do it in one step. This is called declaration. This is called initialization. You use S or Z, that is okay. Now guys, what happens when you execute the declaration? Java will give you how many bytes? 4 bytes. And initially it will put you the default value of int. So 0 is the default value. One second, Rahul is asking, ma'am, one question, why difference between bits and bytes? बेटा बिट्स एंड बाइट्स में डिफरेंस नहीं है, मैंने आपको कन्वर्ट करके दिखाया था. जैसे अगर बाइट के लिए 1 बाइट मिलता है, मतलब कितने बिट्स मिले आपको? 8 बिट्स, राइट? और उसमें से 7 बिट्स को आप यूज कर सकते हो और 1 बिट को हम पैरिटी के लिए रखेंगे. ये मीनिंग है उसका. ओके, व्हाई डिफरेंट बाइट्स हैज बीन गिवन टू different data type? Very good question, Rahul. We previously, when we covered so many information, the reason was very simple. Whatever your need is, for example, if you want to store a very large number with decimal points, double data type would be a good choice for you. If you want to use a smaller number which can be contained in 4 bytes, and that is 32 bits. Why? Because 4 into 8 is 32. You can use the int type data type. So this is why Java gives you a variety of things to help you reduce or fit to your purpose, so that unnecessary you are not increasing the memory footprint of your program. Memory footprint, I mean that you should not use excess memory space when you can do it in the smaller space. Okay, Amit is asking, okay, signed out, somebody has signed in from the, one second guys, there is a Zoom issue. Yeah, so what else? Amit Kumar is telling, yes, SKY is a world standard. Yes, you are right. Okay, somebody, he has replied to somebody. Okay. Okay, ASCII will come into picture, but that's the American standard for interchange of information codes. For every character, there will be a code. Okay, and then few conversations among students. That's okay. Okay. Now, Amit is asking, so madam saying in adding 2 numbers for 2 digits, may we use byte data type? Yeah, you can, but better that their input will be between -128 to 127. If you use a number greater than 127 or less than -128, your data type variable will not be able to hold it. Now, let's try to understand how you will take the input. We know the data type, what kind of variable you have to take, but how do I take the input from the user? Here comes into picture the scanner word that we had seen, right? Scanner. So let us go into some theory part, then we'll go to the hands-on demo. Ashok is asking how we know that it is greater than 120. बेटा अभी बताया ना आपको, देखो मैं बताती हूँ क्या बताया. बाइट डेटा टाइप जो है इसको 1 बिट मिलता है, 1 बाइट मिलता है. इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? 8 बिट्स. इसमें से आप 7 बिट्स यूज कर सकते हो. तो मैक्सिमम नंबर क्या हुआ? 2⁻7. नेगेटिव में और पॉजिटिव में नंबर होगा 2⁻7 -1. दैट इज -128 to 127. Got it everyone? Ajay, you got it? Okay. So now guys, again, we will study more about scanner class. There is 2 ways to take. There are multiple ways to take input in Java from the user. One way is to use scanner. Now scanner is a class name. Now what do you mean by that? That this will help you to do some things. Let's say if I write this line. Here what is happening? Here beta, we are using this class and then we are writing some name. Here you can, I have used scan, you can write anything. So this will be object name. This is just like a variable, but the data type of this variable is the class. So whenever you are creating a variable wherein of a class, that will be called an object. Now here new is a reserved keyword. This is again the class name. And this is the input source. Or either the input, you define the input output area. Now, few things we have to understand here. See, but whenever you want to use any class, that is, for example, scanner class is written in Java, which helps you take input from the user. Then for that, you will have to create any variable of that type. That is called an object. Whenever you want to access the class code, you will have to create an object. Similar to variables, you can name it anything. How do you create an object? This is what we are doing here. So what you have to write? You write the class name, then you write the object name, and then you say new. New, what it will do? It will create an actual memory space for you. It will give you some memory. And of what, how much it will give? Whatever area that your scanner class code will require, that much area it will give you. And here we are using, this is a constructor. Here basically this system.in, again this is a class name, but right now you can think that is a reserved keyword. This basically tells you that you have to read the input. What you have to do? You have to read the input here. So right now our task is to read the input. So this is only first step of the thing, right? Now, how do we read the input? Where, since this is a class, in this class, so many functions will be written. Remember, every class which is written in Java, it will give you access to certain functions. One of the function is next int. Another type of function I will show you. Okay, and then something like next. So let's say here you wrote something like this. And then you write something like this, int n equals to scan dot next int, right? And let's say you wrote then what is happening, beta? Here you have created the object of the name scan, right? Here you have written new. Now guys, new will give you the actual memory space for this. Now here it is scanner, and here you have to read the input. Now whenever you want to read a integer number, you will have to use a next int function. Whenever you want to use double function. And next is the function whenever you want to read any string here. This is for string. String data we will study in detail, but right now I'm just telling you this is for string. So let us go and execute. Let us see how the scanner is working, right? See guys, here let me delete this. See guys, are you able to see what we have done? We have read two numbers, A and B, and I have just printed it. Now guys, how many of you know how to write this println statement? Should I explain this once? How I am able to print it in one line? What is the meaning of opening this quotation marks, this, that? Yes, I thought so. Let me, copy this code. Few things I want to explain. Let's copy this and go to the whiteboard. See guys, but when you are trying to print, right, data, so what you can use this line system.out.println. Here one thing I want you to focus on is here there is one curly bracket, right? This, sorry, curly braces I'm saying, normal circle bracket parenthesis. Inside this, whatever you give, right, that will be printed. This is going to happen. Now, when you are printing, you will want to use some value stored in variable. So whenever you want to print some text message as it is, then you have to use this block codes. So inside this, whatever you write, it will be printed as it is. So can you see here, this block codes are there here. Inside this, what you have done, input equals to. So in your output, it will be like this. And here what I have done, then I have put some plus symbol. But remember, this codes have finished. Now, after this, whatever happens, for example, you have written plus A. Now, A is a variable name. So concatenation will happen, right, Shivam? Here, beta, A is a variable name. Now, Java will not print A as such. It will go and check what was the value here. Let's say 5 input and 10 was given. So it will say A. So instead of A, it will not write A, it will give the value of it. Now, what is the value? 5. And then remember again, block codes happen. Now guys, see here, space is there, space is there. So one space will be printed, then some space will be printed. You are not able to see it, but space is there, beta. Now again, block codes end. See, no, here B is there, beta. What is there? B in the B value? 10. So this will be your output. Yes, but as Java writing the code in the beginning, it will seem some lengthy, but once you get it, it's very, very easy. You'll be able to write it very, very quickly. Only that initial 1-2 days you will have to feel, otherwise it's very simple. Okay, so now guys, one more thing is there. There are two things, system.out.println. And there is one print function. Okay, now here beta, if you see here, just let's analyze this. This is system, this is out. Now this is basically a class. This is a Java class. Inside that, we have two functions, or we can say you can navigate to this code. Inside that out, println. So print and println, two functions are there. Print ln and then print. Whenever you want to print everything in new line, you will use println, and whenever you want to print in the same line, you will use print function. You're getting it, guys? Now let me show you a few outputs also so that you're able to see the hands-on example of it once again. See, if you have to show two inputs in a separate line, let me delete it. See, now let's see what happens. Let's just see. Can you see, guys, what is the output? A equals to 5 and B equals to 10. And there is no space also between 5 and B. How this happened? Basically, when you come to this line, system.out.print. So it says, okay, this program I will write in comments here, A equals to 5. Now the cursor will be blinking just after 5. And then Java comes to the next line. It sees B equals to. So since and that too system.out.print. So it will not insert, it will not change the line. What it will do, it will not change the line. Wherever the cursor was blinking, there itself it will write whatever is printing. So it is B equals to, what is the value? 10. Now, very right, people are saying that if println we are using, that problem will not be there. So tell me, guys, which println should we make? At line number 10, should we make it println, or line number 11 should we make it println? Yes, tell me, guys. I want replies from everyone. Just think about it. Right or wrong answer does not matter. Let's see. Let's insert at line number 11 then, because let's see what happens. Still not able to change. Why? Because it has changed after printing. So this is a very interesting thing about println. It does not change the position of the cursor as soon as it is executed. No. After printing, it will change the line. So we have to change the function from print to println at line number 10. Can you see, guys? So this is a difference between print and println. Is this understood to everyone? Right? Okay. Okay. Now let's try to solve an assignment question. Here, see, guys, this is one of the assignment which will be given to you when it will unlock onto your dashboards. This is ln means line change, beta. Ln println function will basically print it and then change the line. That is the meaning. Okay, Pawan? Okay. Now let us execute this. Let us read this question. Here they have asked, given 3 integers ABC, your task is to print the sum of 3 integers. Let's see. Now, if you don't write the plus between the double quote and that, it will be a syntax error, Vishal. I will show you here also. So tell me, guys, if we have to take 3 integer number, should we use scanner, right? So we will use scanner. And what you will write? Mu scanner, S capital. Remember that. It's very good, Rabia. I hope I got the name right. Excuse me if I'm not. Right. Here. And then we will take 3 numbers. In A. Now what we will do? Scan dot next int B equals to scan dot next int C equals to scan dot next. And then what we have to do, we have to add these numbers. So you can take another variable called sum and you can write a plus b plus c. And what you can do here, system dot out dot println. Yes, very good question, Ashok. But you don't need to define that because you're saying, Ashok is saying you're not assigning a and direct value. No, we're not assigning, but we have to take the input from the user. So that is why we are using scanner. You don't have to give the values. You have to take the input from the user. The user will be giving the input. So for example, if I am the user who's using this program, I will give this input. Let's say first input, sample input. 1, 2, 3. Here. Now I will run it. See, 6 is there. Now, guys, very good question. Madhubala is asking that why we are not using double quotes here. Sorry, somebody else is asking at 14 line number, because we don't have to print any text here. We have to just print the answer value, right? So what we can do, we can just write the variable name, right? We can just print it. Now let me run it against all the test cases. Yes, the only number is required. So see guys, this is how your codes will be executed. In actually, when you go for any interviews also, this test cases will be there, which you have to run and execute. The sum is nahi chahiye beta. Jeremiah, very good question beta. See, in the question, since, yeah, I think I should have explained this. See, in the sample output beta, they have given what is expected from you. They expect only the number. So you see the sample input output section, and depending upon that, you have to write the program. You're getting Sunny or Jeremiah? Jeremiah. Right? Okay, great, beta. Okay, now let me find out one more assignment for you. Let me see that this we can solve this. Okay, I think before that we will start. I'll have to teach you one more thing. Tell me guys, till now, whatever we have done, is it understood? Then only I'll move to the next topic. The simple code is clear, right? Priyanka, yes, beta, you can write a plus b plus c directly also, like in JavaScript, you can write. You don't need to take a variable sum. That is also okay. Yes, scan is an object name, Vishal, you are right. And next int is a function. Basically, it is trying to read the input from the console or whatever input source you are giving the input from. Rahul, beta, my dashboard is filled with many batches, so don't compare with my dashboard. Yeah, my dashboard will be very densely populated. What is the example of another data types beta we'll be doing with the assignment questions only, so that all things will come into use. No, we do. Okay, there is one other doubt by somebody. Let me answer that. Prashant is telling to invoke import function, we have to type, or there is any shortcut. But if here you will have to type. In Newton dashboard, there is no shortcut. Okay. Okay. Now, guys, in JavaScript, you must have studied about if else, right? Right? Here in Java also, there is something. It is not elif here. The syntax is else itself. So if here you will write one condition. If the condition is true, then it will go here. If the condition is false, it will go to else block. Right? Now there is one more thing here, if else if.